Hey there, Charlie here. Still just coming to you post shower because taking it slow these days. It's like 10 o'clock. Uh, yeah, I've been awake for like 2 hours, but you know, get up, you take a shower, you call someone, that's that's where I am. We're officially on like a countdown now because it's Saturday. I leave Tuesday. Ah, yeah. Well, and the real big energy for staff, I think, on campus nowish, in addition to just like whatever everything is, is like what next? You know, what happens after Omega? What is the next thing? I don't know that I've really heard a lot of people have concrete plans just yet. A lot of it is very like, I'm just gonna trust. I'm just gonna trust. And something will work out. And I've heard that that seems to be the best way forward for most folks anyway, because things do. Um, for me personally, like obviously what's next is going back to Richmond, going back to Randy. Yes, back to a marriage that is actively on its way to divorce, at least for now, has been. I don't know. We're both just trying so hard to make each other happy, which is that not uh is that not a good relationship? No. Us being married, we have very different ways of existing in that. But I will not be making any kind of income, so I'm very grateful to have him. I mean, for a number of reasons, not just because of the income, but I'm grateful that he has a nice, sustained, full time job with the health insurance and everything else, It's always helpful to have somebody in your corner that can pay your bills. Um, oh my God. Is this basically a sugar daddy situation now? Has it been for some time? Who knows? I don't know. Um, but that's what's next. Um, and though, while sort of talking to him, we're already sort of just thinking up things to do because that's what we do. Um, I always like doing stuff, exploring. He likes doing stuff and doesn't necessarily decide what, but I don't know. After this, I'm basically going to do a little research and see if there are any festivals, Ren fairs, anything where I can set up Akashic Record readings, just because my model seems to be donation based now, which I actually really like, and I think I'm going to continue. I'm going to be opening up Akashic Record readings on my website again. I got to figure out if that's like a thing you just book or if you do have to take the extra step of emailing me, because you might have to. You might have to just email me so that I can send you a way to schedule your Zoom Akashic Record reading. And then afterwards, you'll get a PayPal donation link that says, whatever you feel like paying for, here you go. Here's the link. I'm not asking for specifics because numbers are variable depending on who we are and what we have going on. I made a very reckless choice this month to spend an entire paycheck on weed. I did. I bought gummies and pre-rolls in the amount of an entire paycheck here as a celebration for selling the stupid house in Connecticut. Could I afford to do that? No, not really. Was that a really bad idea? Yeah, it was. It was a really bad idea. But we'd spent so long being so tight with money, and I just wanted to do the stupidest thing, so I did. And I had one weed gummy of all of that, and I have given the rest of it away to all of my friends here because that was sort of the point. I just wanted to do something reckless in celebration, and that felt like the most reckless thing to do in celebration. and it was very well received. um, you know, there wasn't anybody who was like, I mean, the only people who weren't interested were people who aren't interested in weed, but everyone else was just like, wow, okay, thank you. Just like, yeah, yeah, you know, I'm, I'm happy. I got this huge burden off of me, and I wanted to not, you know, it's a very privileged position to be in, and yeah, no, Randy wasn't happy about it, but he, you know, again, it's sort of a like, you are who you are, like, very much so. Yeah, very much so. I don't do that all the time, and only do it for things that are big celebrations. In addition to the fact that I do also just like celebrating money sometimes too. Like, yeah, money, thank you. Thank you for existing so that I can do this really unnecessary, dumb, not anything worthwhile thing that honestly was also very meaningful to me. Um, yeah. But I look forward to continuing to do Akashic Record readings for people. I've gotten very, um, I have gotten very confident in that, which I'm so grateful for. Um, Anything to do with channeling and intuitive gifts, it takes time and practice to feel confident in it anyway. And it is much harder when you're surrounded by people who don't believe in it. It just is so hard. Um, so having a place like Omega to just exist and offer and have people like excited about it and take us up on it on a regular basis. Like, I'm doing a reading today, and I'm still here for a couple more days after today, and I know there are some folks who wanted readings who haven't, you know, we haven't connected and they haven't gotten them yet. I have another friend, I'm still going to be helping him with something on Canva because that's also a skill I have. A very multi-tooled kind of human. Got a lot of skills to help people with anything they really need. Yeah. So as far as what is next for the channel, I'm gonna keep vlogging, whatever feels like it needs to come out. Daily, probably not. I don't think anybody necessarily wants that anyway. And I don't know, probably especially for the next few weeks, it's just, okay, here's the truth. You're gonna get so much Mabel content, you're gonna just be flooded with dog. It's just gonna be dog, stupid dog stuff, fun dog stuff, boring dog stuff. I don't know. I don't know, but you're gonna receive it. You don't have to watch it, obviously. Might not be your thing, you know. This could be the off ramp for some folks that have been following me on this, which awesome. I hope that you find someone next, or whatever this has been has helped with whatever it is you needed. That's really cool. Life is perpetually in motion, changing, right? So too is whatever the hell I'm doing on YouTube. I have no idea. I just thought that calling it the Light Language Channel was funny when I went, I'm a light language channel, and this is the Light Language Channel, and sometimes we kind of change the channel when we're talking about stuff, and there's a bunch of us in here. Maybe others would want to do their own thing. And yeah, I have like 4 YouTube channels. Only active on this one right now. Might pick the other ones back up. I don't know. It's been a very confusing few months. I want to say it's been clarifying and illuminating. Sure. And I'm more confused than ever. I'm so, y'all, I've had so many ways that I've seen the last few months potentially play out that went very different directions. I have definitely circumnavigated some things that I saw coming in my future. Definitely completed some big like contract stuff that pulled me here. My God, it has been busy. I came in to experience things. I experienced it. And yeah, I will be writing about my time here in a book. I might be sharing more things in there than I shared on here. Um, that remains to be seen. I don't know. I'm still a little bit anxious. Not a little bit. I'm still very anxious, actually, over these next couple of days because I don't know. I just have a lot of anxiety. But I've been having a lot of anxiety, so I guess this is just sort of my final, like, thing that I got to realize about myself in my time here. One, I'm a very disabled person. You knew that. And I've described what my neurodivergencies are. Like I have. um, but you know, when we call it neurodivergence, it kind of is like a pop culture term, you know. And if you don't believe me, I've had people ask me, what does that mean? What does neurodivergence mean, right? And that's when it hits me, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's definitely more of a thing that only happens in certain subsections of like the internet and different nonprofits in my experience, but it is fundamentally a disability. I'm a disabled human. There is no such thing as a real certificate for a service animal, but the definition of a service animal is an animal that has been trained to perform one or more tasks for a person with a disability. I have trained Mabel to disrupt anxious spirals of thoughts. I have trained her to calm my heart rate. It's actually what I need her for the most because I haven't taken my blood pressure, but I'm pretty sure I've been hypertensive for at least the last 2 months here. Probably the entire time I've been here, I've probably been hypertensive. It's quite possible, highly likely actually, that everyone here has played their part perfectly so that I will leave before I have another stroke, actually. Like, I kind of had a mini one. I haven't had it validated because hospitals also terrifying for me. Might actually go because Richmond hospitals have historically helped me more than hurt me. Even the psych ward situation that I experienced last June was not nearly as traumatizing as all the ones in Connecticut were. They still didn't pay attention to the fact that I was high and in trance channel, because I got high and slipped into a trance channel state where I was singing. I was still answering all their questions though. I just was also singing, and they still put me in the psych ward. But it was only for 3 days instead of a week. And I did have THC in my system. Like, they knew that. It's kind of shitty to put a person that's high in a psych ward. Like, especially when the husband was saying she needs a sedative, because sometimes when this happens, she needs a sedative, and they didn't listen. They still just threw me in the fucking psych ward because that's just what they fucking do now, apparently. And maybe always have. I don't know. I just know recent experiences. So yeah, if they could just give me a sedative when my person tells me the patient history and the request is fucking sedative. That's all. Just you can inject it. That's fine. Those work pretty well. Anyway, in general though, been pretty taken care of by hospitals in Richmond during our lifetime, you know? So I'm not as scared of hospitals there as I am of hospitals in Connecticut, or kind of anywhere that's not Richmond, I guess, because I have experience with those and not being whole person mistreated, right? I've gone into a tangent and now I've forgotten where I was. I'm sure you remember. I don't. Oh, no. Disability, dog, person. Oh, right. Okay. Hypertensive. I say that because Mabel does love cuddles, but she's not like an only cuddle dog. She very much is like on her own, does her own thing. But when my blood pressure is too high, she does come and lay on me, and it calms it down. And there really is a co-regulation aspect to that, mammal to mammal, central nervous system to central nervous system. And you could argue that she just does these things naturally, blah, 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 blah. Hell no. She did a thing one time. The first time that she barked at me when I was having a spiral, I gave her treats and attention. I reinforced the shit out of that. And then I turned it into a training protocol because I know how to train dogs. I've been trained to train dogs. I'm a perpetual collector of little pieces of paper with my name on them. I have one that says I'm a dog trainer, not like the high tier dog trainer who's actually been through mentorship and has done the blah, blah, blah. Like no, it's like pretty rudimentary dog trainer. So I don't tell people I'm a dog trainer because I don't feel like I've had the appropriate level of education and experience and mentorship to even fucking say that, because the minute that you say that to someone, they instantly are like, oh, so you're a resource. I don't feel that I'm a resource. I haven't had enough training for that. So it's unethical for me to say so, even if I do have a piece of paper with my name on it that says I am a trained dog trainer, which I technically am. What can I say? I'm very intentional with my words. I know I talk a lot, so that seems like it's a very unreasonable thing for me to say, but I am. I only tell you that I'm trained in something if I have what seems to be the appropriate level of training needed to properly say that about yourself. So, but I have been trained enough to know how to train dogs, and I have trained my dogs because I have not been able to afford proper dog training from people who were able to get all of those things and make that their life path. And I did take her to an introductory training thing I was trying in Connecticut to get her through that program to do therapy dog stuff, and we just couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it. The house cost too much money. The utilities there cost too much money. Things kept going wrong with the house that we had to fix. Medical bills, we just had too many things. And I wasn't getting work. No one would hire me. Kept applying like it was my job. couldn't get anyone to hire me so that we could have more money so that I could do things like that. So I trained her. Part of what I was doing. So I mean, if we're really looking at this and kind of zooming out on everything that's happened here, Omega denied a disabled person her service dog and didn't want to ask me any questions about what I meant when I said any of the things that I said. And I guess I'm now calling her a service dog. I didn't 3 weeks ago, and maybe that's my own fault, but the argument that they made it pretty clear that it didn't have anything to do with whether or not she was a service dog. It didn't have anything to do with that. It had everything to do with this potential future problem of a dog allergy that might happen in a trailer that had not been pre-designated as a trailer that dogs can live in, period. That was the argument. So according to that argument, it doesn't matter if it's a service dog or not. The answer was simply, we don't have the housing for you. And in my experience here, just in general, this is not a place that can accommodate disabilities. I think that they really should be upfront about that. I just do. The campus is very uneven, so if you have a physical limitation at all, you're gonna struggle here. It's gonna be really hard. They don't really showcase that this campus is very hilly. So one of the most common things that I lightheartedly tell people when they complain about how much hills are, is yeah, you definitely get a glute workout when you're here. We don't have a gym on site. It's because nature is the gym. Being here is the gym. And people get surprised. They do. They truly get very surprised. We don't have doors that open and close on their own. We have very few housing options that don't have stairs. The golf carts that guest services uses is to help with accommodations needs, with accessibility needs. But even those, they're a challenge. They're pretty high off the ground. You do, people kind of have to climb to get into them. And even something here's a real scenario that can happen. Things get humid here, places made of wood, doors can get kind of jammed sometimes. And depending on your cell phone and whether or not you have service and what time it is, you might just be stuck. And if you're in one of the dorms where the bathroom is at the end of the hall, you might just get stuck in your room. And if it's like 10 o'clock at night or 10:30 at night, you can't call guest services because we're closed. There is no phone number that you can call the manager on duty. There is one who's staffed overnight, but to get to a manager on duty, you have to go to one of the emergency call boxes. And as far as I know, there's one up on the upper dorm loop. There's one by the staff dining entrance, so the back of the dining hall, one at the main office, like outside of it by the parking lot, and then one outside of guest services. And I suppose one other one at the other dorm loop sort of area, but they're not, you know, you're stuck in your room. You can't go find one of those boxes, and I doubt you've really memorized the map and knowing where it is you're going, especially if you're only here for like the Friday through Sunday retreat. You know, there's like I said, it's just not a place if you need accommodations. It's really not that. And that would require an infrastructure change to a very large degree, and that would require a huge influx of capital. So to an extent, there are just some things that are what they are, but I do think that it does people a very grave disservice when they're not clear about that. Like, welcome to Omega, or we're glad you're considering coming here. Able-bodied people will experience the whole experience. Others will do our best. I mean, really. And it's really the humans who work here will do our best. So yeah. I also just do think that if you are someone that has a number of needs, it does just benefit you to have a person here with you to assist in the event that something falls through the cracks, in the event that we fail you, right? Like, there's only so much time that we can devote to each individual person because there's only 2 golf carts for the whole of the campus from guest services, and depending on our staffing, one of us does need to be in the office at all times, so there might only be 1 golf cart for the whole campus. There's 300 people on campus. If 15 of them need a golf cart at the same time, people have to wait. We don't really have, I mean, we have some benches, but there's not like seating everywhere, especially not outside of classrooms. We don't have an abundance of bathrooms. Most of them are like challenging to get to as well. Like, just the final thing, like if you're in the main hall, which is our biggest workshop area, to go to the bathroom, you have to go out of the main hall and down a hill and down into basically the basement area, because everything here very hilly, very multi-leveled. That's a big challenge, and I really think that if people, especially if you have any sort of physical mobility needs, information like that, it feels so careless that it's not part of the story of how Omega's talking about itself. Like, I hate to think that people come here and feel like they have a worse time because they're being a burden. And like disabled person, I feel like shit. It hurts me so much that leaving is my option. Most people here are fine and have their own stuff, and they have so many of their friends, and I have not become that close of a friend, and so my leaving is not that big of a deal. But I do know of at least one person for whom me just kind of being like, and I'm done, bye, is at minimum very triggering of some like big personal shit. I'm not okay that that's what I'm doing. And I tried really hard for that not to be what is happening, and it still is just what's happening. And there's nothing good about it. I just have to feel like shit about it and try to be as there for what I can for the next few days anyway, and sort of provide reassurance. And I know, I'm not that big of a deal. I'm not that big of a deal. I just also understand when I've triggered somebody. I know what that feels like, and I know what happens. And anyone with a disability knows the impact they have on the people around them. Some have given up caring, and I respect the hell out of that. But so many of us know, we're so painfully aware of any amount of burden we're placing on another human with our needs. I'd hate to think that a holistic healing center is only healing for some and is very painful for others. Like they're coming for the workshop, you know? They didn't necessarily need another reminder that they are not prioritized in this world. Yeah, I do have a flair for the dramatic here, don't I? I know. And it's not everybody. I you know. All right. That's enough talking from me. I need to go put water in this body and, like, you know, take care of other things and other people, and got things to do. Got things to do today and work tonight. So I'll never stop talking. What can I say? I'll never stop talking. All right. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk soon. Okay. Bye.